Hi everyone, it's Elizabeth. Today I'm going to continue to build on the first video in this series about early reading terms, building upon what we discussed about phonemic awareness. Now today I'm going to actually talk about why do I always advise teaching early readers about sounds versus letters. When I tell parents initially to focus on sounds versus letters, sometimes I get confused faces like, yeah, I know that. What are you talking about? And when I push a little bit more, what I recognize is that we don't really differentiate what a sound versus letter is in a thoughtful way until we're forced to teach someone else how to read. And so let's talk about first what everyone talks about, which is letters. Letters are picture symbols of basic sounds. Letters in the English alphabet, as opposed to other language alphabets, like the Spanish alphabet, which uses the same symbols, but has different meaning attached to it, we actually attach sometimes more than one sound to the same symbol. This is why English letters and sound association can be more challenging, and people say learning how to spell and read in English is actually more challenging than learning how to spell and read some other languages like Spanish. One example that comes to mind is people who like to compare teaching and education in America versus teaching and education in South Korea or teaching and education in Finland. I'm not an expert on the Finnish language. I actually know nothing. But my mom is actually South Korean, and so I went to language school in a church on Saturdays. Yeah, it was Saturdays. And I was able to learn how to read the Korean language in just some Saturdays across one school year, if I had to estimate how long. So if we think about 52 weeks, and I was probably religiously attending 52 Saturdays, and I could read and write in Korean pretty fluently. Now, I could not speak and I did not have the vocabulary. So just like in English, right? Written language becomes more meaningful and is useful, and people are motivated to learn it when they have speech first. So having the ability to read and write in Korean is a nice skill, but because I don't have the vocabulary and I cannot speak Korean well enough, it honestly is not a useful skill. And so let's return back to talking about sounds and letters. Letters are picture symbols of basic sounds. On the other hand, sounds are just auditory. They're things that we hear. But again, what makes English tough is that the same letters can be rearranged to form patterns and communicate to the reader different sounds. So you can use an E to say eh, but you can also use that same letter to say the sound E. Same letter, two different sounds. Then you can put an E with a W, and EW says ooh, prioritizing the sound, which is more important for early readers to understand in English than letters. If you teach the letter Y, I think Y is my favorite example, because when you teach the name Y, that name sticks in young children's mind for a long time. I've taught 9-year-olds who are struggling readers at that point how to read, and when I show them the Y, they cannot get past that. They think that the Y makes the Y sound, that it says Y, that's a sound, but that's actually the name. Now, Y, the letter, is actually in the word WHY. So that might be another reason as they get older where they get confused. But if we teach that Y makes the Y sound, That's what should be primary in their brain when they see the symbol instinctively. Like the first thing they should think about is the sound, because the sound is what's going to help them read. The sound is also what's going to help them sound things out as they spell. So the difference between letters and sounds is letters are a picture visual representation of sounds, and letters can be rearranged in English, the same exact letters, to produce many different sounds. So it's not one-to-one correspondence. While there are many more sounds in English than there are letters. 26 letters, 44 phonemes or sounds. Those phonemes or sounds that build our language in English don't always align to one specific letter. Sometimes those phonemes actually have 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 different ways to spell it. So we're digging really deep, parents, here, but I just want you to truly in-depth understand that the importance of calling a letter or a sound by the correct name is foundational understandings that makes teaching reading feel difficult. If you want support with that, that is what I have created in my less than 3 hour video course that's self-paced for parents to teach their early readers ages 2 to 6, however old that you feel like they're ready and they have speech. We talked about speech, the ability to talk. That's what this course is for. This course is for parents to feel empowered with the knowledge that us teachers have and us teachers maybe take for granted, and some of us teachers don't even have. Some of us teachers were trained differently in unfortunate, ineffective ways, to be honest. I just want you guys to feel empowered. Please like, subscribe, comment. You know I'm here for your questions. If you have any, even if you feel like someone's already asked that question, that's okay. You haven't found the answer, and you need to ask the question when you have it right then and there. Happy reading, everyone. I'll see you later in the week for more early reading glossary terms.
Flowers grow to bow after the show.